Hi, I'm Marshall Lehman, and I'm a Knox County Master Gardener. Today we're going to be doing renovation pruning on some azaleas. These azaleas are about 10 years old. They've had a little bit of pruning over the year, but they have really become a bit overgrown. So this is truly a renovation pruning. Now, if you're pruning them on an annual basis, it's really a light touch-up. But you're not the only one who has overgrown azaleas. And a lot of times you'll hear me mention do a renovation pruning while they don't have leaves so that you can see the structure. With azaleas, that's not really what we want to do. And part of the reason for that is that within about 3 or 4 weeks of when azaleas finish blooming, new buds start to form for the following year. So if you do a dormant pruning, you really are taking off a lot of buds. So if we do the pruning shortly after they flower, you'll have a full set of buds next year. The second thing is that not every azalea loses all its leaves. So if you're waiting for all the leaves to drop, it may never happen. Some of them are semi-evergreen and hang on to some leaves all winter long. Where we are today, there are multiple shrubs in here. We actually have a debate whether there's 4 or 5. So we're going to start with the shrub that I'm standing next to. But if we pan the camera, you can see that over the years, these 4 or 5 shrubs have kind of merged into one big hedgerow. And our goal in today's video is to show you how to do this first one. We'll then turn off the camera and work on the others, and then we'll come back and show you what the finished thing looks like. So we just gave you a good before picture of what this azalea hedge looks like, and hopefully at the very, very end you'll get to see, and we can then count and determine whether there are 4 or 5 shrubs in here. Right now we don't really know. So let me refer you to the handout. The link to it is in the description of the video. It goes through the major points. Again, this is not the routine annual pruning. This is a renovation pruning. And in my initial assessment, we are going to be taking off about 1/3 of the material. For my tools today, I do have my hand pruners. I have my loppers. I have a folding saw. I have my kneeling pad. And I'm going to get rid of the clipboard, and we are going to start at the bottom because we have lots of low-hanging branches. Part of the problem with the low-hanging branch is if it starts to touch the ground and you get rain and splash up, you can also develop some soil-borne diseases. So we're going to start cleaning up from the bottom. I mentioned I want to start at the bottom, and we've pulled some branches back to give you a better view. And yeah, there are some weeds in here, but my job is not to weed today. So I'm going to take this branch off all the way at the base. It comes up and turns into a Y, and you'll notice all the vegetation is at the very tip because that's where it was getting sunlight. So I'm going to, I think I can get this with my loppers. I'll come in here and take that off as low as possible, and then that allows me to then pull these back where they were. And my next candidate is a smaller branch hanging low, and I'll show you why I'm targeting this one. From the back of the shrub all the way through the shrub, which is not good, but let me show you its growth. This is not what a healthy azalea branch looks like. This is one that made twists and turns to try and find some sunlight, and it will never straighten out. So it gets removed. And again, I've got another low-hanging one here. You may or may not be able to see that one, but I'm taking that one off at a major branch point. And again, it does the same thing. You see no vegetation along the base of it, and it's all out at the tip. That has already opened us up quite a bit. Now, in the meantime, I've got things coming at my face that I don't really like. That's this one. So I'm going to take that off. And again, it came up and made a 90-degree turn. Most shrubs don't do that. I've thinned out near me a bit. And let me pause while we decide which section to tackle next. Most of the time you see me say, let's start with the 4Ds. You'll notice today I said, let's start at the bottom and take out some of this low-hanging stuff. And one of the things that we cut off that was growing all the way through from the back of the shrub, at first it looked like it was all dead. And what I would say is it's mostly dead. And then out at the very tip here, after several twists and turns, we have a little bit of green. So that's the difference between a routine pruning. Yes, we will take dead out, but dead today is not my focus. I will take it out as I see it. But my focus today is really on thinning this out and getting more airflow into the shrub so that it can grow in a better shape than this. And we kind of labeled this one a very sad branch. So we're going to keep working around, taking out. And the thing that's become obvious to me as I'm working on this shrub is what I'm taking out are some of the older branches. They are thicker and they are a slightly different color. And once you start cutting, you see that. And so as long as there's some newer branches coming up, thinner, growing a little more erect, we're okay with taking out some of these really old contorted branches. So we're going to pause again. I'm going to keep working away at the base, trying to thin out that base, removing some of these older, really twisted branches. We have finished cutting out some old thick stems at the base, and there's still a couple in here that need to be cleaned up and cut a little shorter. We took them off where we could get without damaging adjacent branches. So you can now see that this is an individual shrub. Having gotten that thick stuff out, now we can do some of the stuff that we would normally do in a routine pruning. So for instance, I saved this to show you, because here's a piece of dead. And dead stuff usually just breaks off, but that's kind of thick, so I'm actually going to have to cut it. But there's actually no, you can hear that crack. That's definitely dead. Nothing on that. So now that we can see the shrub, we can do some of what we would do in a routine pruning. There's a little more dead, a little more dead. And the other thing, in addition to getting rid of any little dead pieces that may be around, is, yeah, there's some dead. Once I start looking, is address what do we want to do with some of these branches that still are kind of heavy out at the tip. And what I'm going to suggest we do is, for instance, this one is bent down. It would be really tempting to cut it right here, but then that leaves me with a branch that comes up at 90 degrees. So I'm going to take it back at a subsequent branch node, and that's still young enough, green enough that hopefully it will grow out a little bit rather than just making that 90-degree turn. Over here, we got a little bit of dead to clean up. That's not drooping on the ground. This thing right in front of me, well, A, there's some dead, just breaks off. But B, we have a branch down here that has some green on it, so I'm going to take that part and we'll leave the bottom part of that. Probably going to do the same thing with this one. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of, we'll take it right there. And this one has a branch that actually comes up kind of the way you want, so we'll get rid of the one that goes the way we don't want. And we got a little bit of dead there to clean up. So now that we can actually see what we're working with, then we can do the things that are more a part of a routine pruning. And as I say in every other video, whenever I think I've gotten all the dead, I turn around and I find another piece of dead. So yeah, just keep walking around looking for some dead. There's some. And as you can see me through this shrub now. So we know we've got good airflow. there should be lots of sunshine getting into the plant, which will solve that problem of all the growth being around the edges. We'll get more foliage and green in the middle. The other good news on this particular shrub, yep, here's one that wants to grow back through that I didn't see before, so it starts in the front. That'll be 2 cuts. I have a second cut to clean that up lower. But we have lots of nice young growth in here that will help to fill this out over time. We also have some type of vine that grew in here last fall, and it's a little deceptive because you think it's the shrub and it's dead material, but it's actually the vine. So we can clean that up as we go. But yes, now you can see that this is an individual shrub and not part of a hedgerow anymore. And that's what we wanted to get with the renovation. We're trying to open this up and get good airflow and sunshine in here so it can be a healthy plant for another decade. This is our pile of debris from the very first azalea that we renovated. And the cuts, some were quite large. The bulk of them were more in the 1/2 to 3/4 inch size. And then of course, all the little branches that are attached to that. I would say we are probably right about 1/3 of the volume of that shrub. It was really overgrown, and as long as you stay within that 1/3 pruning budget, you'll be okay. We're gonna shut off the camera and work on the others, and we'll come back and show you the after picture. This is the first shrub that we showed you pruning, doing a renovation pruning on a hydrangea. We started at the bottom and took out old thick stems and then worked our way up, taking out some dead and crossing branches. The one other comment I want to make is I did nothing to the height of these plants. All we really did was thin it out by judiciously taking the older, thicker stems, and then we made sure it was opened up for airflow and sunshine. Now we showed you a pan at the beginning where it looked like we had a hedgerow. We can now tell you that there were actually 3 azalea shrubs to start. The one in the middle is the one that we pruned, but here's one, here's the second, and here is the third. But we also have a volunteer that sprouted that is several years old, and we found another very, very small volunteer that can't be but a couple of years. So that one in particular could be dug up and moved somewhere else. We didn't touch that one. We pruned the 3 original azaleas and the older volunteer. That's a renovation pruning. What I would recommend is that you try to do the annual pruning so that you don't have to do this. If we pan the camera all the way to my right, you will see the pile of debris that we have from these 4 azaleas that we just finished pruning. Our total time pruning these 3 large and 1 medium-sized azalea was about an hour and a half. But I had some helpers. If you may have noticed, the debris just kind of magically disappeared. So I would cut and they would haul away. But that's a renovation pruning of azalea. Again, often I will suggest that you renovate while they're dormant so you can see the structure, but because we value azaleas for the flowers, you want to do it shortly after they finish flowering so that you get some new growth and the new buds start to form for next year. So these will flower beautifully next year. There will be no loss of buds. If we had pruned these while dormant, we would have been removing buds. That's a renovation pruning of azalea. I hope you learned something today, and we thank you for joining us.